angry, Ozzy. 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 Angry, Ozzy. Ozzy. Angry.
Just my lights, 'cause it's that time to go live on a Sunday night. Okay, so I'm laughing at myself because I just had a stupid idea. I have stupid ideas. Well, I might do my usual warm-up. Make a video. I did not bring any of the cameras in here. God damn it. It is live stream time. Thank you for the big intro, Strictly Sega. Gosh darn it. I was going to make a short Halloween cocktail video to put out before Halloween, and I left all the cameras out in the lounge room because I was editing just before I came in, actually. So I'm going to disappear for a minute and get the cameras. All right, got all that stuff. Oh, just had a silly idea that made me giggle, so I'm going to do it. The drink I'm making is called Satan's Soul, and it's a Manhattan riff. I was thinking you garnish it with 2 cherries and say they're Satan's balls. Okay, it made me laugh again, so I'm doing it. Oh, now there's 3. Can't do that. All right, Satan's balls. Okay. Okay. Let's start to get things ready then. I'll put the audio recorder on its stand. Bring the video tripod out. That sounded all very professional and kind of snapped out then. Oh. Man, I watched, for me, a lot of movies. I was just realizing to myself, Charlie, as I said, I was going to say, I watched so many movies, but I think it's less than your normal amount of movies. It was 4, which is a lot for me. Okay. Und our halo light. Okay, let's be a professional and pre-chill my glass. Right, okay, so we've got the sweet vermouth. We want a rye whiskey. Which one's this? Straight rye. That's the Gospel's really nice rye. I mean, both the ryes are good. Where's my phone? I've got to get this recipe up. Oh, please save the talk for the worst film. I love that as a conversation topic. What am I looking for? The Devil's. I've changed it. They called it the Devil's Soul, but I've changed it, so I'm changing the name to Satan's Soul. Oh. Okay, so that there. This here. This here. One aperitivo and elderflower. Disappearing. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's a bloody rye whiskey based limoncello. Okay. I'm working my way through this aperitivo. But I have another one when that's done. Okay. Let's get this lit up. Okay. Take some lids off so I am ready. Get ready, because here I come now. Ooh, that was a nice pop. Okay, mezcal. I forgot the mezcal. Lots of ingredients in this one. Move that across. That across. I'll put this in here. This in here. Christ, so many fucking ingredients. Okay, you go there. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Rye whiskey. Starting like we mean to go on with whiskey. Okay, everything is set up. Let's get this happening. Say there is good. Let's go with the ingredients. Sweet vermouth, sweet vermouth. This is going to give it the blood color for Halloween. There we go. Now it's Halloween. All right, that's all the ingredients. Let's put that right there. Oh yeah, this is a good Halloween color, this one. Blood red. I realized I didn't have a short Halloween video ready, so I decided to do this. I have a longer one where I make my clear ice skull. Got to stir this. That's tasting pretty good. Let's put the glass there. It's good. Strain this slippery little sucker. Ooh. It's a suitably gothic looking cocktail. Probably don't need that to do that. Then, oh yeah, my garnish. That's what I wanted. Okay, cocktail made. Now it's only a short, so I've just got to talk for a couple of minutes. Oh, Silent Core, hey! I did I put your music video on the Jukebox channel on my Discord so people could appreciate it. Alright, let's just do this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now I should do put these lids on before I knock something over. 'Cause I'm a clumsy motherfucker. That goes there, mixing up stoppers. Cork back in this one. Shazam, we're done. Okie dokie, that's ready. Is that doing its thing? It's doing its thing. Let's go with this one. This should only take about 3 minutes. He said, feeling optimistic. Let's fucking go. G'day cocktail lovers. Here's a nice gothic looking blood red cocktail for Halloween, and dare I say more sophisticated than the average Halloween cocktail if you want to feel superior to other people. At its base, this is essentially a Manhattan riff, and before I tell you about it, I'm gonna have a little taste. Oh wow, that's got some good flavors in it. Let me show you how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 1 ounce or 30 mils of rye whiskey, then half an ounce or 15 mils of mezcal, and half an ounce or 15 mil, fucking ice, fuck you. Then half an ounce or 15 mils of sweet vermouth, then just around a bar spoon or 5 mils of a bittersweet aperitivo like Aperol, and 5 mils or a bar spoon of elderflower liqueur. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. And I'm straining that into a chilled Nicanora glass, and for a garnish, I'm putting 2 maraschino cherries on a skewer. The garnish of 2 cherries was a late idea I had for this. They could be Satan's balls. I'm not taking that metaphor any further. Not on camera anyway. I'm going to enjoy this. Happy Halloween. Blessed Samhain, however you like to celebrate it, or not, wherever you are. Don't be a party pooper. Just have a fun drink. Cheers. All right, now I'm going to sit down. I've got to put the lid back on this cherry jar. Oh, I should switch some things off too while I freaking think of it. Stick. Do this. Stop this. Switch this off. Get this out of the way. And just sit down and see what everyone's doing. I've really got to replace this chair, just by the by. Yeah, I liked it, Silent Core. I really thought it was worth sharing with everyone. So, also, just like to support pals. You know how it is. putting my Halloween drink on ice now. Just cause. Man, I like the smoky undertones the mezcal gives it. Smoky Manhattan. It's nice. Hello, Hannah. How are you this evening? And Strictly Sega, if you're still there, I super want to know what the worst movie was. Oh, that's a great way to describe it. Strictly Sega. It's like a song you'd hear in a teenage superhero movie. That's a really great way to describe it. But yes, Strictly Sega, you piqued my interest when you said, I think I saw the worst movie ever made. I definitely want to hear about this. The worst movie ever made. And of course, pretty subjective, but I'm really keen. All right. The movie called Slapstick of Another Kind. Oh no, Hannah. Guess who had a breakdown at work yesterday? Well, I know you're not the type to tell tales on other people. So, unfortunately, I think I know what the answer to that is. Oh, it's a Jerry Lewis movie. And oh god, such a good cast. Jerry Lewis, Marty Feldman, and Madeline Kahn, and it sucks. Wow, that's tough. So, Hannah, you snapped over people just leaving shit every single day of work. Yeah, man, people can push you too far. Just realizing that's crooked and it's doing my head in a little bit. Can I do that? That's less crooked. Okay. Just the pictures behind my head, I could see we're at an angle and it was doing my head in. So, Hannah, you and another person spent an hour and a half pulling all the returns, 16 trolleys. God, sorted them for an hour and a half. Wow, people are kind of sucky, aren't they? Turned around, someone had dumped 2 baskets of returns on the floor and walked off. Great. So Strictly Say, you never walk out of a movie, but your finger was hovering over the stop button nearly the whole movie. Oof. Wow. Actually, what was the movie? There was a movie I was watching not that long ago on Amazon Prime. And Jamie Foxx was in it. And it was like about a cult. Was it God is a Bullet? Yes. Okay. So the movie's called God is a Bullet. And and it just fucking sucked. Yeah, it had all these things I like. It's like a cult movie. Someone's going to go and liberate people from a cult. It's got the dude from friggin' Game of Thrones. God, what's his name? Chris Walder. What's his name? Nikolai. That's it. Nikolai Costa Walder. And geez, it was shit. It was okay. It's just doing stuff that is not what I fucking clicked on. It's just it was just every cliche piled on and piled on and piled on and piled on. And I switched it off halfway through. I just did another super obvious bullshit thing and I went, no, fuck off. Hannah, now I need to empathize with you, Hannah. You snapped, broke down, crying in front of your boss, saying you'd been bringing this up every weekend for the last 8 weeks, can't do it anymore. Finally gotten you somewhere, though, because she assured me it won't happen again. Part of backdock, and she'd be reviewing the cameras to see who did it. If it happened again, people just left things in an unsafe manner. It'd be talking to HR because he repeatedly asked for leaders' support on the matter, and nothing's changed. Well, that's a plus. So, strictly saying, the movie was making you feel dumber. A disjointed collection of jokes and scenes made no sense, badly paced, misused cast, just terrible. You've seen bad movies. You watched the new... Oh my God. Okay, now that was bad. I did watch the new War of the Worlds on purpose, and that was just bad. At least I suppose there was a degree of coherence in that War of the Worlds movie. If the slapstick one just had no coherence, yeah, that's even worse. Silent call with the support. Sorry to hear Hannah's bad life. Life can be hard. Controllers and choices. Yeah. Well, it looks like Hannah's doing the right thing, actually, by just saying, this is too much. People have got to stop fucking around. But, okay. So I didn't watch any bad movies this weekend. I did watch 4 movies, which is a lot for me. It would be unusual for me to watch more than 2 movies in a weekend. What's your one, Strictly Sega? Jerry Lewis, Madeline Kahn playing double roles, parents, and adult babies. Wowzers. Just how do you fuck up with a really good comedic cast like that as well? Anyway, so what did I watch? I watched a new movie on Netflix, House of Dynamite. That was really good. If you want a really tense thriller, the whole thing about, a nuclear missile being launched at America and can they stop it? And it's told from 4 different points of view, like a half hour for each point of view. And just the tension, I just found myself enthralled. The tension of it was wild. And then I watched, I think, was it a movie on Prime called Play Dirty? A fairly well-known writer-director did a movie I really like, The Nice Guys. That was fun. It got exceptionally stupid with extravagantly stupid stunts at one point. But it was pretty entertaining. I did watch the Albert Brooks one, Defending Your Life, that you put on Plex for me, Strictly Sega. That was entertaining. I think it was dated, and I think Mrs. Angry hit the nail on the head because she watched it with me and just going, that is a really American point of view. And I think it was a particularly boomer American point of view. If you don't, it's one of those movies that's just like, just switch your brain off and have a bit of fun. Because Albert Brooks is very funny. There's really funny stuff in the script. But, everyone raves about the movie. I wouldn't rave about it. I was entertained by it. So that's 3 movies I watched. Now I have to rack my brain. What was the 4th movie I watched this weekend? Gosh darn it. I did watch half of Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, just because it was on. Really good stunts in that movie, and overall, it doesn't feel like there's a good point to the movie. But that was not the 4th one I was talking about because I didn't watch it in full. What did I watch? House of Dynamite, Play Dirty. Oh, this is going to bug the shit out of me until I remember it now. And I rewatched Sister Act. That's nice entertainment. The Arnie movie Junior. That's the one where he's pregnant, yeah? And Strictly saying you watched Mysterious Skin was sensational. That sounds familiar, actually. God, this is going to bug the shit out of me if I can't remember what the fourth movie I watched. This is like I had this in my head. This is what I'm going to watch. Okay, this is. It'll probably just pop into my head randomly at some point. Pregnant Arnie, 90s plot. No one expected. Weirdly worked. I mean, 90s Arnie, really good comedic actor, quite honestly. I mean, particularly in Twins and Kindergarten Cop, he's really good in those. Wait, I'm just okay. Here's the thing. I think the other one I watched, Charlie, you have on Plex. Okay. Using my passkey, is this going to work? Good Lord. This is just dragging on. The Street Saga, the Mysterious Skin is a Joseph Gordon-Levitt one. Kick of his films lately. It was about two boys. Okay, I did see that when I was flicking through your Plex, actually. Continue. Come on, God damn it. Oh, wait, no, it's here. Okay. I feel like it was in one of your... Okay. God, this is being a shit to me. Continue. What is this shit doing to me? Wasn't a big fan of Junior. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, okay. Recently I did movies. Will I see it? Oh God, you put Ultraviolet on there. Good Lord. Oh, I didn't see it, but I suddenly remembered it. The other movie I watched was the John Candy documentary, I Like Me, which made me sad because you just find out how sad John Goodman was a lot of the time. And there was another one of those ones where I was watching it and going, man, the Hollywood system really fucks people. Like we always go, yeah, like if a celebrity, someone who's been made wealthy by the system, has a hard time or whatever, we're like, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, world's smallest violin. I wish I had your money and problems. But it really does fuck people up. It's the music industry, TV, movies, basically the celebrity industry absolutely fucks people up. And while it was also uplifting to, see all the good bits of John Candy's life, but Jesus, the sad bits were sad. Oh yeah, dude! Don't don't be sorry about me. Again, I feel like I didn't preface the other night clearly enough that I wasn't mad about anyone, and no one had made me feel bad. But I was saying, as a general rule, don't talk about it. Greg, hello, good evening. So, honey, you think a lot of them money? Well, it is the lure to let those powerful people destroy you. The money is the lure. But yeah, Jesus Christ, the degree to which the system fucks people up is quite extreme. Greg, you got a bit bored. Okay, well, and that's completely fair. I quite liked it. But because it made me a bit sad Um, like even they showed a couple of different interviews where the interviewers started talking about his weight, and you saw his face change. Like it was hurting him. That was the bits that got me when they showed the bits of interviews with him, and a couple different interviewers that said something about his weight, and you just saw the sadness in his face, and I was like, "Fuck!" It was yeah, and you're right. Yeah, it's Ricky Sager. He got really defensive, but damn. Yeah, Greg, that's okay. I mean, we all have our own reactions to things. If it dragged, that's it wasn't your cup of tea. It wasn't your cup of tea. Oh yeah, and the bit where he was actually really sensitive to the fact he made a whole bunch of films and a significant chunk of them bombed, both critically and box office. Where he had the like Uncle Buck was his high point. That was his absolute pinnacle, I think. Um, but yeah, and it was interesting the bit where it's like he kind of said yes to everything to help people. It was always people he knew, like, "Hey, John, will you be in this? Will you be this?" And he always said yes, and it was to help other people, even if it was ultimately to his detriment. But man, yes, it's like even when there's a celebrity who I think is an absolute piece of shit, I try to cut him at least a little bit of slack because as much as they get the luxurious life and the money and the adulation and blah blah blah, they don't get to lead normal human lives. It's oof, they give up a lot. But yeah, like I was saying, world's smallest violin, etc. Yeah, who's Harry Crumb, armed and dangerous, delirious. Yeah. Okay, what was it about Bobcat Goldthwait? Oh, sorry. There was a movie called Hot to Trot with Bobcat Goldthwait. But isn't Bobcat Goldthwait a funny character? Just because he got famous in the Police Academy movies, right? But like he had that whole persona, and he hung around, like he was still performing and stuff. But it's like he was never a huge star. They did try to push him in movies quite a bit, and he had an appeal. Um, but yeah, he was never really a huge star, although, he working his whole life. And I've seen some interviews with Bobcat Goldthwait. He seems like a reasonably switched on person. So John Candy was voice acting as a talking horse. I mean, this is the thing. He apparently just said yes to everyone. And Bobcat was best mates with Robin Williams. Well, again, speaking of really troubled people, they ended up having serious health complications later in life. Oh, did Bobcat direct Father of the Year? I've seen little bits of that. I never sat down and watched it. Not my type of movie, but I have seen bits of it. He did an amazing film back in the day called Shakes the Clown. Was Bobcat the clown? That sounds like something he should do. Thinking like, is there something because this old laptop, the screen's actually filthy. It's got specks all over it. And I go, see speck like, wait, is there a dark bit in my beard, or is that a speck on the screen? Oh, everyone was a clown. Oh, you want a weird, funny but cringy and difficult to watch clown show. It's called Baskets. It's Zach Galifianakis. It is good, it's well written, and he's good, but it's one of those, uncomfortable cringe humor things, and it can be really difficult to watch. So, Shakes the Clown has Bobcat Goldthwait, Robin Williams, and Adam Sandler. I have never heard of that, and yet those three are in it. My God. That's a hell of a thing. I'm just glad I remembered all the movies I watched. Like, it was really going to bug me that I couldn't remember one of the movies I watched this weekend. It's a layered films, actually about the power of addiction. Well, that's something, that crew probably, well, definitely knows about. Jesus, watch Robin Williams' early stand-up. That man must have had like a bucket of cocaine before going on the stage. Um, Not sure what Bobcat's life was. He gives the vibe of someone who had addiction issues. Ah, you mark the films you watch on Letterboxd. Okay. I don't use Letterboxd. I maybe should. I don't know. But yes. So what am I going to rate the watches this weekend? I think House of Dynamite is probably the best. I can see people having problems with it. I can see elements of it making people angry and them complaining about it. Ooh, that's a very vague, non-spoilery spoiler. But just the way they ratcheted the tension in it had me absolutely hooked. It's probably my pick of the weekend. I give it 4 out of 5. Uh, Give the John Candy one 3 out of 5. Give Play Dirty 3 out of 5. Honestly, I'd probably only give Defending Your Life 2.5 out of 5. And even though I only watched half of it, pretty sure Furiosa 2.5 out of 5. 2.5 hours long. Like, it absolutely needed an hour cut out of it. Needed to be much more concise and focused of what the fucking story was and what you were trying to tell. It just rambles too widely. I don't know. George Miller just got the idea. He had to chuck a bunch of stuff in it. It needed to be more streamlined and focused. And I swear to fuck, you could have got rid of that lame Max substitute. It's like there's a character, and he's all the silly jokes about, oh yeah, that guy's the Mad Max you get if you order him from fucking Temu or something. Temu says real Mad Max, but that guy arrives in the mail. He just had no fucking personality and was just doing these wooden line deliveries that had to have been deliberate. But what were they trying to do? It was Jesus. That guy was a waste of screen time. And Chris Hemsworth is very funny. Chris Hemsworth needs to get more comedic roles because he's freaking hilarious. But again, it was kind of unnecessary. It's the whole thing of, little Furiosa getting captured by him. I mean, why not get fucking captured by a Morton? I mean, actually, I know why, because they can't know where she comes from. But speaking of what was Liam in? A film called Isn't It Romantic? Liam Hemsworth hasn't been in anything much lately, has he? They were trying to push him for a while. Oh, someone played it on Discord and you tuned in. Okay. And the the oldest and least attractive Hemsworth brother is in a few things, and I've forgotten his name. He was in Westworld. About Rebel Wilson. Okay. Oh, that has potential. What is the time? Time's getting on. I don't want to. Drink too heavily. I might make myself a drink there. Ooh, I've got the sweet vermouth out. I should just make another Manhattan. What can I do though, just to mix it up? So the trailer for the movie is a romantic connection. Wait a sec. I think I missed some of your synopses. What is it? So it's fun about Rebel Wilson, how romantic comedies never have women like her. She gets mugged. That's so no spoilers. That's all in the trailer. Oh yes, I've seen the bit where she wakes up in the romantic comedy. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but yes, now I know that movie. I've seen the bit where she wakes up in the romantic comedy because she's in a coma or whatever. All right, I'm gonna make. Okay, I got to go over here and get creative. Do I even want to simplify this? Like, leave out the extraneous elements? Because I really liked the smokiness of the mezcal. So I think I'll do something a little bit simpler. Just go rye whiskey, shaboopy, little bit of mezcal, because I'm getting hooked on that smokiness, quite honestly. And a little bit, or maybe more than a little bit, of sweet vermouth. I think I'll put some orange bitters in it too. All right. Well, now I've turned it into another Halloweeny blood red drink. There's the orange bitters. Well, I might have to get. I don't want to run out of orange bitters. To get a backup bottle. I go to the bitters lab this week. I think they're open on Tuesdays if I'm in the city on Tuesday. Go in my lunch hour. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. It was okay. Luke, that's it. Luke's the oldest and least attractive Hemsworth brother. He was in Kill Me 3 Times with Simon Pegg. Aussie Hitman movie. Oh, okay. Comedy, thriller, mystery kind of thing. Okay. I'm aware of that movie. I've seen that title. I haven't seen the movie though. Too many movies to watch them all. I tell you, because I was watching another, in the Criterion Closet video on YouTube, and yet again, another person picks the Stanley Kubrick film Barry Lyndon, which I've never seen, but I don't think you have that on Plex. But it also reminded me of another one that I should watch, which I bookmarked, the old Peter Sellers film Being There. I've never watched that. It came out when I was too young to appreciate it. It got a lot of hype, but people still talk about it being a good movie. So I got to watch Being There at some point. So you watched it because of the director who also did Red Dog and the movie you've loved. Okay, you've seen Barry Lyndon. Do you think Barry Lyndon is yeah, don't go too spoilery, although I do basically know the ending of Being There because it's been out for so long, people always talk about it. But I'm trying to block it from my memory, so I gotta write it. Barry Lyndon is slow as shit. It keeps getting called out in these Criterion Closet videos. People going, "Oh, Barry Lyndon." Oh, the ending made you cry. So many things make me cry. I am very susceptible to emotional manipulation. Like I was really feeling it in the John Candy doco. I could run off a list of movies that really get to me. Not like one of the big ones is the Iron Giant, the ending of the Iron Giant. Oh, people love it because it's super artsy. Okay. Yeah, they do tend to talk about it being artsy. So, like, Kubrick used special space fucking terms. Film. Oh, that's right. That was one of the things I said. They had to use special lenses because the only light he used was candlelight. I am kind of fascinated when filmmakers get super obsessed about wanting to do a particular thing. So they either invent or use very special lenses. Um, David Attenborough's nature documentaries. A lot of people don't realize, but I saw a doco about the docos. He's working with an Australian cinematographer, and they were inventing lenses to just do impossible depth of field shots. Like, if you talk to someone about, I want a shot where it's this, that, and people say, well, you can't. It doesn't work like that. And it's like they would never show these lenses because this guy, because they weren't just straight lenses. Apparently, they were angled, and it was all these reflections and refractions. For instance, one of them was is about spiders, and there's this jumping spider in the foreground, and it's taking up about that much of the screen, and it's in sharp focus. And David Attenborough's back here talking about the spider and bloody 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 blah. And because they talked about they'd invented this lens to get an impossible depth of field sort of thing. So I started to think the spider was about as big as my hand, and it was a very impressive shot. If there was a spider as big as my hand in the foreground, and David Attenborough's back here, and he's in focus, and the spider's in focus, that was pretty friggin' impressive. But at the end of his talking bit, he reaches down towards the spider and the spider is only as big as his fingernail. And anyone who knows anything about lenses, photography, cinematography knows that's impossible. It's not split screen. It's just one thing with a camera. And so there's a fucking spider this big in the foreground taking up this much of the screen, and David Attenborough standing back there, and they're both in focus, and he comes in as in focus, and like David Attenborough's fingertip fills the whole fucking screen. It's fucking wild. And he also did one of the wildest what do we call the push-pull dolly zoom shot? Not invented for Jaws, but made famous in Jaws. I saw one on YouTube. It's like the most amazing push-pull shot ever. And it was from a David Attenborough thing. And he's standing on a cliff. I think it's on the English coast. And talking. And they start doing the push-pull. And David Lynch is staying in place because they should do it. And the landscape is just moving weirdly behind him. And like I can't even describe it very well, but you then realize there's a bay down behind him, and what you thought was just behind him was actually a rock wall on the other side of the bay, probably a kilometer away, and everything was in focus. And when they do the push pull, everything, there's this crazy visual distortion of moving. Can probably actually, you know what? I'll test this theory. I'll go on YouTube. Okay, search term. David Attenborough. Amazing push-pull shot. Does that work? No. Okay, maybe it's I need to get rid of the David Attenborough. Okay, so yes, Dolly's in more than. Here it is. The greatest. I'm gonna put this in the Discord. I was, if I do it little screen here, I might not get um, content matched. There you go. Share screen. Yeah, look, I'm just going to do it like this, and maybe I don't get content match, and I won't do the sound. But look at him standing there. You got all that rock wall behind him, and everything starts moving. You know what the fuck's going on? Look at that. That stuff that seemed to be just behind him is like a damn kilometer away. Anyway, I'm going to put that on the Discord. Oh, you pasted my DMs. Okay, yeah, okay. Just realized I didn't have the Discord open. Someone might be trying to contact me. I have to look. Favorite videos. Oh God, yeah, you've put someone's review of Slapstick of Another Kind. All right, I'm going to put the dolly shot in for people who may or may not be interested in those things. Yeah, yeah, it's the best. Dolly zooms give you vertigo. It's just the wildest thing. I do love the one in Jaws, the famous one. It's a very good shot. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to spice up my life by doing a Manhattan variation rather than the old fashions I always make on the stream. But old fashioned variations are my favorite. Manhattan variations are good too. And Mrs. Angry and I are getting super into last word riffs. 4 equal parts. You do 1 part spirit, 1 part herbal or bitter aperitivo, 1 part liqueur, 1 part citrus like lemon or lime juice, and you can play around with those. But you can try it with anything, any uh, spirit, any herbal or bittersweet aperitivo, any liqueur, and you probably really experiment with the juice part as well. The Tricky say that was the first and only video you watched Slapstick of Another Kind. He was spot on with your thoughts. Oh dear. What a friggin' drama though. That's like I've seen docos on Jerry Lewis. He's a very interesting person. And he got to the stage where he hated being known for that very slapsticky character he did, particularly with Dean Martin. And he thought Dean Martin was riding on his coattails and was annoyed that Dean Martin got to be cool. And he was doing quite innovative stuff on set, directing stuff. And but geez, he was a bit all over the shop, really. Yes, I agree with you, Strict Sega. Technically, it's comparatively simple. It's just a practice thing. move the camera in and zoom out at the same time. So what you're centrally focused on seems to stay in the same place, but its relationship to the world around it changes. In Jaws, it's Roy Scheider's face. In Vertigo, it's that flight of stairs, which is such a great way of suggesting the character's vertigo, because it's a very unsettling effect. And it's the other thing with Roy Scheider's face. And again, if you study photography, you learn that taking like a front-on shot of someone's face, their face will look different. Like it'll be rounder or flatter or whatnot, depending on the focal length that you shoot it at and the distance you are from them. So if you do that thing where you're simultaneously changing the distance you are from the person and change the focal length of the lens, their face will subtly or quite noticeably appear to change shape. Like I say, comparatively simple to do because it's just in camera. It's just getting the movement timed right. But done well, looks trippy as all hell. But I should try something. I don't remember a dolly shot in Raging Bull. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, again, not showing it because I don't want to get content matched. I think I think that one in Raging Bull is suggesting Jake LaMotta is about to lose consciousness because he's been getting punched in the head. Hell of a movie as well, by the way, Raging Bull. I haven't watched that in ages. Maybe I should rewatch that. Again, because I remember reading stories of the making of it, because Jake LaMotta was actually a consultant on that and was involved in training Robert De Niro. And he would get in the ring with Robert De Niro and punch him in the head really fucking hard. Because he's like, you have to know what it's like to be. I don't know if he ever knocked him out, but he's like, you have to know what it's like to be punched in the head so hard that you come closer. Like I did boxing in my youth, and I only ever sparred. I only did training. I didn't box competitively because I didn't want to get fucking brain damage. But I got pretty good at it. Sparring, and I was with this one guy, and he was a heavier weight class than me. He was much slower than me. But if one of his punches connected, and one of them did, and it just came straight through my guard and hit me square in the fucking face. And it was the weird. I've never been knocked out. This was the closest I've come to being knocked out. My legs stopped working. Like this punch just came through, bam, and hit me, and just dang. And I was like, "Oh, why can't I control my legs?" I was wobbling all over the ring, and because it was a spar, not a boxing match, he didn't come after me to fucking knock me out, and I was just staggering around on wobbly legs, thinking, "Shit, why aren't my legs working?" And he said, "You all right?" I said, "Yep, we're stopping." Yes, I don't have cauliflower ears. That's what they call it, the boxers, because you tend to get punched in the side of the head a lot, and it fucks up all the cartilage in your ear. Call that cauliflower ears. You can't avoid seeing John Cena's ears in Peacemaker. I didn't realize the season was over when it was over. I kept looking for another episode. But I did enjoy it, and I hope we don't have to wait 2 years for another season or whatever. I still think it's super funny that DC have basically given James Gunn keys to the kingdom. They go, "You're in charge, man. You're in charge. You get to do anything you want." Like, they had big name actors from the Superman movie do cameos in it. And it was just like, wow. James Gunn literally gets to do whatever he wants. It was a weird season, strictly saying. I think it was a weird season. I didn't dislike it. I do think it was weird, though. It was like they're trying to do character development for Peacemaker and give him a bit of trauma. I actually love the idea, which I assume they are going to explore in some more movies in DC, of humans wanting to find a way to get rid of metahumans. That's very interesting. You did not see the alternate universe. Yeah, no, absolutely. It started with her saying, "I haven't seen a single person of color since I got here." And then you got the really obvious signs. It was just, uh, it was kind of funny. I mean, it was meant to be funny. It was funny like it was meant to be. But again, yes, just like Peacemaker was so desperate for some validation and to feel good, he wasn't paying attention to the world around him. Strictly saying, yes, if you were a person of color, you might have noticed that there were no people of color in that universe. Warner, Greg, who's going to buy? Is Warner? There's like only 3 companies in the world. Warner Brothers DC going to be sold. Who's going to buy it? And are they going to keep James Gunn around? Because at the moment, he seems to get to do whatever he wants. Oh God, and it's also just reminded me the cameos from James Gunn and Zack Snyder in the most recent episode of Rick and Morty. That shit was funny. I love when big name people can take the piss out of themselves. When I found out it was actually James Gunn and actually Zack Snyder voicing in that, so Paramount's going to buy it. But who owns Paramount? You reckon Paramount will get rid of James Gunn? I don't know. He seems to be doing good work for him. The Superman movie was good. I feel like they really modernized Superman while also having this clean cut Superman. Like he says, golly, he literally says golly gosh and things like that, but also really modernizing it with modern social politics and whatnot. And like I said, the thing about humans seeing the metahumans as a threat and wanting to get rid of them. They're obviously going to have the Justice Gang in a movie. And one assumes they are eventually going to change their name to Justice League. But who knows? James Gunn has a very weird sense of... No, I don't think his sense of humor is that weird, but he's got a very pronounced sense of humor. Viacom owns Paramount, but did they change their name to National Amusements? I don't know. I don't keep up on corporate world things. Oh, what's the time? It's not right. Okay, I want to, drink something non-alcoholic. Have a can of my mineral water and make me get up and pee during the night. That's okay. During COVID, lots of crazy things happened during COVID. Oh, speaking of COVID, we are not that... I suppose it's a few months off yet. But I don't know. Is anyone else looking forward to January, February next year when we get 6-year anniversaries of shit with COVID. And I, for one, will be going, I do not fucking believe that was 6 years ago. Strick says, funny, Paramount was the name companies, which is pass around like what? Oh, that's a fantastic turn of phrase. I like that. But yeah, I feel like there's only 3 companies in the world, really. They all own each other. Greg, I'll definitely do anniversary streams. I think, okay, the big anniversaries was when it got declared a pandemic. For me personally, then it's when I started working from home. And when the first lockdown happened and when the first curfew happened. Coke owned Columbia and they put Coke in a lot of movies. That was funny. Holy shit. So the Defending Your Life movie, the first 10 minutes, there's like, it's an ad for BMW. Like the central character, successful advertising guy, it's his birthday, and to spoil himself, he's getting a BMW convertible and he's going into the BMW dealership. They're just talking about how great BMWs are. There's even like a literal ad for BMW behind the salesman saying preferred over Mercedes by 3-1. And I was like, this is one of the most overt extended product placement things I've ever seen. So, Greg, you think I should do COVID live stream? Yeah, I should mark what, because that was my big switch when I decided, oh, world's gone fucking crazy. We should just chill and do live streams. But I mean, okay, I was doing live streams prior to that, particularly with AIDSy. But yeah, it was the one where I just decided, oh, this is weird, and we're all living in a weird, fucked up world, and I think we need a safe space to hang out and support one another. And you're right, strictly saying, sometimes the product placement stands out like dog balls. But then the funny thing to me is after this outrageously overt extended BMW ad in Defending Your Life, he starts driving like a stereotypical asshole BMW driver, just changing lanes and not indicating and being a fucking tool. So that was funny. And speaking about product placement, I love it. I crack up when Ryan Reynolds or Blake Lively do incredibly overt aviation gin ads in movies. Every time they do it, it makes me laugh. They've done it in a Deadpool movie. Blake Lively did it in a Simple Favor. It's so funny to me. And it's almost like they know, they're not trying to hide it. They're like, yes, I'm doing an aviation gin placement. And having said that, the way Blake Lively makes a martini with aviation gin, I mean, nothing wrong with aviation gin, honestly. I just have my loyalty to Australian gins. But the way she makes the martini, no objections from me. And if you haven't seen it, she has both the gin and the martini glass in the freezer, and she gets them out because the other one, Anna Kendrick, makes a very pedestrian wet martini, too much vermouth, and Blake Lively just gets the martini glass and the gin out of the freezer. She pours a bit of vermouth into the glass and swirls it around and throws it out. So there's just a hint. vermouth will stick to the frozen glass, and then just pours in the gin, and that's a martini. And no objections from me, quite honestly. Oh yes, iRobot. We gets the vintage Converse. It was like, God damn, dude, that's such obvious product placement. Because of course, for him, it's vintage Converse. For us, it was contemporary Converse. Little Nicky going to Popeyes. I think it's funnier when it's personal to the star who's doing it. It's kind of like when um, I never actually watched Two and a Half. I watched some of the earlier episodes of Two and a Half Men. I never watched it when they kicked out Charlie Sheen because he was intolerable, and they brought in oh God, what was his name? He was in everything. He was really good in that 70s show. Fuck. And he played Steve Jobs in a made-for-TV movie. So, God, I'm fucking blanking on his name. But he joined Two and a Half Men, and he was a tech genius. So he's walking with a laptop, and he's going, for authenticness, there was a bunch of stickers on his laptop. But what the people from the TV production company didn't realize, at least one, if not two, of the stickers on the laptop, which were seen prominently in the episodes, were advertisements for his company. And they got really mad when they worked that out. Fun and games. Ashton Kutcher, that's it. Thank you, Greg. No, you're right. Ashton Kutcher. I had totally blanked on his name. But yeah, I read the story how, he's trying to be authentic. I'm a tech guy. Tech guys have stickers on their laptops. And after several episodes went to air, someone pointed out a couple of those ads for companies Ashton Kutcher has an interest in. And the network got mad that he was getting free advertising. That's the way it goes. It remains weird to me how much I like this mineral water. Wish I was more of an influencer. They might send me free stuff because I drink it on the streams. Yeah. Strictly saying, it's when Ashton Kutcher replaced Charlie Sheen on Two and a Half Men, and his character was a tech whiz, tech entrepreneur, rich guy. And yes, he had stickers for companies he had an interest in on his laptop. Totally pissed off the fucking network that he put free ads into the show, because they want to dip their beak. They don't want it just to be free for him. I don't know if. Sorry, I'm just getting self-conscious. Oh, some of this stuff just wipes. I swear to God, you can't see it, but my laptop screen is filthy. And I'm just like, oh yeah, no, a lot of this stuff just wipes off. I probably should just wipe this screen, because I'm getting distracted by these black flecks all over it. That's the way it is. Gotta think if I want to barrel age anything else. I've now got Infinity Whiskey and Infinity Rum in there. So I've got two barrels that just have fortified wine in them to keep the barrel wet and to put a bit of flavor into the barrel. Und wir have to see if you want to put anything else. I haven't barrel aged a cocktail in a little while. Maybe. Do I really want to use up that much of my booze? My quadrant, my favorite cocktail of the year, my own creation, The Quadrant. Yellow chartreuse. Yellow chartreuse is expensive and hard to get a hold of. Oh, and I definitely don't have enough of that fucking orange gin. Maybe I can look. Sure, I'm just randomly looking. Oh, god damn it. Oh, God. I almost cut the stream off accidentally by hitting the wrong button. It asked me to confirm if I want to do that. It's like, no, I don't want to. Tiny Bear Distillery. What do you guys... A London Dry Gin, limoncello, lemon honey ginger, gin. Okay, I got lemon honey ginger liqueur. Yes. Oh, wait. Visit the distillery. Are they still in the same place? They used to be in an industrial estate. Because I did actually visit. Wow, free shipping over $50. That's really good. Gin and cheese boards masterclass. Oh yeah, I think they're still in the same bit in a friggin' industrial estate in Knoxfield. Shop the range. What do we got? Okay, so London Dry Gin, limoncello, an Amaro, a chai liqueur. Honestly, I'd like to try those. Okay, honey lemon ginger liqueur I have. Ooh, they've got some of their whiskies. I had some of their single malt. 145. Dang. Australian summer gin. A coffee liqueur, a harvest gin, formerly the Doctor. Spiced gin, formerly the Gypsy, which is, a slightly dodgy name. Sailor gin. It's their Navy strength. Yeah, it might be worth a visit there one day. A barrel-aged Vieux Carré. Holy smoke. Honey's fine. Like, okay, if I go, like, my favorite cocktails. Yeah. The Quadrant strikes me as homely smoke, yes. The Quadrant strikes me as one that could work well. I would need to get some more of I'm probably going to get more of that orange gin anyway because it's so freaking good. Marionette. Oh, that's right. Last time I looked at Marionette, I saw they actually had an absinthe as well. One aged cocktail. Let me see. Marionette Distillery. What's in the shop, guys? Yep. Okay. Elderflower, apricot brandy, bitter curacao, amaretto, orange curacao, meh, peach, nocino, which I have, dry cassis, pineapple, which I have, blue curacao, I have. Yes. Absinthe and the old gin. Caretaker's Cottage, Black Forest, the temptation to get limited edition. Like, oh, they've got some other ones. A plum liqueur, a lemon liqueur, a Goizel. Our biggest collab of 2024. It's really good. Oof. The temptation to get a couple from them, and it's like, in my mind, it's like, man, you have got to stop spending money on booze. Hello, Madam Butterfly. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, maybe I should do a barrel aged of my favorite cocktail of the year, the Quadrant. It just requires buying another bottle of the old gin, the orange, kind of like old fashioned in a bottle. But it is also so good. I do want some more. I feel like maybe next payday. I don't know, because this is like a 3 pay month, so it artificially feels like I've got more money than I really do. Last year, number one was chocolate Sazerac. These the only 2 years I've done the top 10 retrospective, and oh my god, the chocolate Sazerac was such a clear winner last year, and I did do a barrel aged chocolate Sazerac as well, which was also very good. This year it was a lot closer. The competition was a lot tighter. So are you saying don't age that? What are you saying don't age the chocolate Sazerac? I think actually an aged Manhattan. I mean, yeah. Um, but of course, if you're making, a liter of a Manhattan, you get to be creative. You can do a blend of the whiskies, and like rather than just being uh, one whiskey and sweet vermouth, I could do a blend of whiskies. Oh, some more rain coming across. Damn, we got a lot of rain today. Hello, Safa, by the way. No, I aged the chocolate. I'm sure I sent you a sample of the aged chocolate Sazerac, actually. So if you've been out with family to a fancy winery restaurant, pouring down heavy. Oh my god, it rains so much here. We had one thunderclap. I was sitting on the lounge with Mrs. Angry. I think we were watching that movie, uh, um, Defending Your Life. There was uh, lightning, and a second later, just a really loud thunderclap. So it's like, okay, that was almost on top of us. But that only happened once. Mostly it was just rain and heavy rain and a little bit of thunder. Oh God, driving through a downpour on a country road, Safa, that's not good. Dinner, I had chicken drumettes. It's like my new packaged food thing. It's pretty yummy. You didn't have dinner because of big lunch. Well, that's fair. I know that feeling where you do something where you're really spoiling yourself so you don't have the next meal. Definitely know that feeling. Speaking of spoiling yourself, next weekend I'm going out the Bellarine Peninsula. So fewer live streams this week. Won't be streaming Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. So I'll probably do Wednesday and Thursday, but I won't be doing Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So after Thursday, I won't be back till the following Wednesday or Thursday, depending. Saf had one thunderclap in your life. Sounded like a nuke going off. Shook the house. Yeah, this one today was fairly close. Didn't really shake the house, but it was like lightning and then a very harsh thunderclap. We had a decent amount of rumbling thunder today, but mostly rain. Quite a lot of rain today. Ricky Martin's in Australia. Not sure anyone cares. I think Ricky Martin's moment was like, what, 20 years ago? I can relate. I'm sure he'd get big crowds if he was doing shows. I've not been paying attention to stuff, but it was like he had that big hit, yeah, with Ole 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 for the Soccer World Cup, which was a great track, honestly, Cup of Life. And then I think like his biggest hit outside of that was in the same year. It was Living La Vida Loca, Living the Crazy Life. And he was the subject of one memorable Simpsons joke. I don't remember if it was air conditioning or heating at the school because it was hot or cold, but it was overworked. And Principal Skinner says to Willie, like, how's the system working? He's going, it's working harder than Ricky Martin's girlfriend. Hey-o! Because he did, he possibly did not come to the realization himself for a while, but he certainly did not come out for a while. He did eventually. She Bangs was pretty big. You're right, Strictly Sega. I would lay money that Livin' La Vida Loca and Cup of Life were bigger. Getting into the Ricky Martin lore tonight. Not something I expected, really. Just wondering. Speaking of barrel aging stuff, like what do I have in the cupboard? I got that's the brandy old fashioned. My homemade rye. I got rum old fashioned. I still got the rum old fashioned. I'm gonna have a splash, not a full serve. I'm gonna have a splash of rum old fashioned. Barrel aged. Got a barrel aged brandy old fashioned. The barrel aged rum old fashioned. Maybe a Sazerac. Although, did I do that? I did a chocolate Sazerac. Yeah, geez, what am I talking about? Am I gonna survive? What do I gotta go? Another half hour before going to bed. Probably be strong willpower and not have to run out for a pee break. But now I'm thinking about it. Strictly say you've always associated Shania Twain with the song. If you're not in it for love, I'm out of here. Yeah, we all have our favorites. I mean, the one I think for most people is Let's Go, Girls. So if you want a breathalyzer, it'd be pretty low and also it doesn't work, but I'll do it anyway. That song wasn't even released in the US as a single. Oh. I think commercially her biggest one was probably That Don't Impress Me Much. Oh man, that's got some great character in it, honestly. I'll do breathalyzer after I have this drink, Safa, and get the most effect. You're playing it on a stream and no one knew it. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? You just got to with the conversation switched to Shania Twain. We're talking about everything. Yeah, man, I feel like a woman, but I reckon commercially That Don't Impress Me Much was probably her biggest one. Yeah, I agree with you. It's a good song. It's interesting that it wasn't released as a single in the US. Which one actually starts with Let's Go Girls. It's Man, I Feel Like a Woman, isn't it? Which actually reminds me of the old joke. Back in the 80s, Hunters and Collectors released one of their biggest tracks, Say Goodbye. Fucking killer track. And it's like a guy, the story of the song is guy's fighting with his girlfriend, and she goes, she ground her finger into my breastbone and she said, you don't make me feel like I'm a woman anymore. And I was in college radio when that came out, and they were doing a tour, and I did a phone interview for the radio station with the drummer, Doug Faulkner. And as a joke, I said, could anyone except Mark Seymour in Australian rock music get away with singing the line, you don't make me feel like I'm a woman anymore? And he laughed and said, we did that lyric deliberately as a joke because they're a very rock band. They're a very blokey band, very male audience, getting very drunk at their gigs. They said it is extremely funny when they're playing live to see drunk guys, often shirtless, grabbing each other with their arm around their singing, you don't make me feel like I'm a woman anymore. That's just very funny. That's, man, I got the 12-inch of Say Goodbye. You don't make me feel like I'm a woman anymore. Okay, here's a weird Hunters and Collectors fact. An earlier track of theirs, Betty's Worry or The Slab. I only saw I didn't know they'd made a video for it, which they made way back in the day, early 80s. And I saw it on YouTube for the first time in like the last year. And it's like Mark Seymour walking down the street carrying a slab of beer. And I was like, damn, video for the song The Slab. Mark Seymour's actually carrying a slab. I was looking for season dreams to rip from your fingers. It's such a good track. I know it's true, but I just can't say it. Say it, say it. I knew it from their live EP, The Way to Go Out. That was in indie rock circles in Australia. That was huge when it came out. 12-inch EP with, I don't even remember how many tracks, 4 to 6 live tracks. Throw Your Arms Around Me, The Slab. What was the other big? Oh, and The Way to Go Out was another big one. But yeah, that was a really good EP. And I think I remember Rage playing the whole concert that The Way to Go Out EP was recorded on. That's a very good way to refer to Hunters and Collectors. Strict Sega, so 80s. So very, very 80s. I love that they had a brass section and not just a saxophone. There's a guy on French horn. And those weren't extra people they dragged in. That was core members of the band. Did Big M use When the River Runs Dry in a commercial? I did not know that. In fact, Hunters and Collectors' biggest commercial tracks were probably later in their career. Tracks like Holy Grail. Which I don't mind. I don't think were as good as their early ones. But I don't mind them at all. Oh, nice. 98 Australian TV ad When the River Runs Dry. It's on Le Discord. Don't think I was familiar with it. Yeah, Holy Grail associated with AFL. Oh god, okay, that just made me think. There's a really good Briggs track from a few years ago. By a few years ago, maybe it was 10 years ago. I don't even know. Um, but I think it was tied in with the Indigenous round in the rugby league, the ARL, and it's called Here. It's such a banger. It's so anthemic. Oh, do you see what I see? That was on an EP called The Living Daylights. That was the original release of that. I have that EP as well. 4-tracker. Talking to a Stranger was an early one of theirs. God, there was like a 7-minute version of. Sorry, Safi, you're correcting me. It's NRL, not ARL. Thank you. Your favorite Hunter song is True Tears of Joy. I'm probably showing my 80s route. Throw Your Arms Around Me is one of my favorites. But damn, they did some bangers. Hunters did such big. It's a bit soft cock. No, Hunters did so many bangers over about 10 years. And also, the record company was so convinced Throw Your Arms Around Me was supposed to be a big hit. They kept releasing different versions of it, different performances and mixes, and each subsequent version was blander than the previous one. I just like the version that's on the really simple pared back version, which is the original version, but also the live version on the Way to Go Out EP. The later versions where they were trying to make it an AM FM radio things. I love. Now we're just really reliving 80s Hunters. But you know, it was always funny to me. Crowded House. Mark Seymour's brother was in that. Nick Seymour, and depending how they were photographed, sometimes Nick Seymour and Mark Seymour looked nothing like each other, but sometimes when they were photographed, they looked like the same fucking person, which again is the whole thing about, I've said this multiple times, the old saying, the camera never lies, is like one of the dumbest sayings ever, because cameras, photographs and video are an absolutely false representation of what someone looks like and a very easy to manipulate version of what someone looks like, depending on the lighting and you know, the focal length of the lens and how close you are to someone. Safa, I don't know diddly fucking squat about Australian Idol. It's a show I would never fucking watch. I'd be extremely surprised if Mark Seymour was on it, but who fucking knows? Because I don't watch Australian Idol, so I have no fucking idea if Mark Seymour has ever been on it. But I am on the internet, so let me look it up. Mark Seymour, Australian singer-songwriter. Is he on Australia? Wait, what the fuck is wrong with my keyboard? Australian Idol. Okay. I'm not really seeing anything about Mark Seymour being on Australian Idol. So I'm going to go with Mark Seymour had nothing to do with Australia. I don't know. I think one of my favorite contemporary artists, Amy Shark, has been on Australian Idol in the last year or two as a judge. But again, because I never fucking watched the show, AI says Mark Seymour has not been a judge on Australian Idol. So I don't know what the hoot and heck you're talking about. Mark Holden, he might be thinking about Mark Holden, which is a very fucking different name and person. Mark Holden was definitely on Australian Idol. I just remember him from being a really cheesy pop idol on Countdown in the 70s. I know he was one of the original Australian Idol judges. So I would have been very surprised if Mark Seymour had been on Australian Idol, but whatever. Try not to be too fucking judgmental of people. But are we going to believe AI? AI, Google says Mark Seymour has not been a judge. Ooh, watch a video to learn more about his career on ABC iView. He's been Hunters and Collectors, had a solo career, composed film scores, written a novel, appeared in television shows, but he's never been a judge on Australian Idol. AI Google is calling you a liar, Seeger. Should you say he was Vanessa Amorosi's manager? Really? Managed Delta Goodrum? I don't know. Again, I think one of the darkest, shittiest, most evil bits of humor, this is serious, Mum. They were always trying to get up in people's faces and they were always trying to rub people the wrong way. But at one point in one of their live shows, the guy who would do poems had a poem where there was the line is, "My prayers have been answered. Delta Goodrum's got cancer." No, Strictly Sega, you didn't say Mark Seymour was on Australian Idol. That was Safa. And Safa did confuse him with Mark Holden. Extremely different people with extremely different careers. But, that's okay. In his heyday, 80s and 90s, Mark Seymour was a very blokey. Also, okay, he's a little guy like me, 5'8", or under 5'8". One of the singles I have, and I forget which one, on the B side, it has some outtakes of them fucking around in the studio. And Mark Seymour goes, "There are no truly great men over 5'8". You know that, don't you? And then he cites all these people from history who are under 5'8". And one of the other guys in the band who are taller than 5'8" goes, yeah, but being under 5'8" is not a guarantee you're going to be a great man. And Mark Seymour replies, "At least we're in with a fucking chance." Which, as an under 5'8" guy, was very funny. Safa, is Putin great? See, okay, here's the thing, Safa. A particular use of the word great, particularly great men of history, does not mean good. By a lot of definition of great men, as in powerful men, Putin would definitely qualify. But yeah, it was very funny. Mark Seymour saying there are no true great men over 5'8". You know that, don't you? And the taller guy says, but being under 5'8" doesn't guarantee you're going to be a great man. Mark Seymour goes, least we're in with a fucking chance. I latched onto that big time. Oh, good Lord. Tsar Peter the Great was over 2 meters tall. What was the era of Tsar Peter the Great? What were the years of his life, Safa? Because I think the further you go back in history, really tall people are doubly exceptional. Because, like, you go to old buildings in Europe, and it seems like they were all built for people who were less than 5'6". Because I've been in some of these old buildings in England and having to duck to get under door frames, and I'm a short ass, so I feel like you go far enough back in history, the majority of the population was like, I don't know, 5'4" and under. So yeah, over 2 meters. That's like 6.5 feet. So he was in the 1700s. So okay, that guy has got to have been freaky as fuck. Okay, so you're saying in the 1700s, Peter the Great was like 6.5 feet tall when the overwhelming majority of the population were under 5.5 feet tall. That guy would be freaky. That's he in the modern world. He's like one of those freaky basketball players that's over 7 feet tall. Tricky say you're done going down a Delta Goodrum rabbit hole. What are you doing? Safra, I guess that is a fair point. The royals in Russia would have been really well fed. You think Andre the Giant was royalty? He had, I think, Andre the Giant had a glandular disorder that actually gave him gigantism because that guy was fucking huge. He was a very big person, freakishly large guy. And of course, I have a soft spot for him because he's in one of my all-time favorite movies, The Princess Bride. And when you watch any making of stuff, you get the entire cast talking about how much they loved Andre and how much they loved being with him. Although there was one notorious story where they're shooting and Andre just let out this ripping fart, which continued on for about 30 seconds and apparently was so rank and awful, it absolutely cleared the set. Like everyone was worried Andre was dying from something because he just let rip this monster fart that just smelled like death. So they thought, your intestines, your insides have got to be rotting to do a fart like that. What would Tsar Peter have thought of Putin? Would have thought he was a little pissant, quite honestly, I'm sure. And again, I'm not saying this is a good thing about Peter the Great, but he would definitely regard Putin as a commoner. And because he's a diminutive fellow, he's just a little pissant, quite honestly. I say that because Putin's probably never going to take the trouble to poison me, as he has done to so many others. Ooh, and that's the thing that's happening in season 2 of Slow Horses, which I've just started. Deep cover sleeper Russian agents still at large in England poisoning people. Oh, I saw that today. Strictly Sega, Harry Potter tattoos have a higher regret rate than gender affirming surgery. And it was tied to a company that was offering free laser removal of Harry Potter tattoos. But that is, I think, a simple statement of fact. Harry Potter tattoos have a higher regret rate than gender affirming surgery. Oh, Safa wanted me to do a breathalyzer. I said I'd do it after I finish that old fashioned. Again, I think it's the reading's going to be quite low. A, because I don't think I'm very drunk. B, because I don't think this is very accurate. Yeah, yes, Ricky Sager, I certainly got a laugh out of the story about Harry Potter tattoos have a higher regret rate than gender surgery. All right, it's counting down. Oh. Here it goes. It's thinking. It's thinking. 0.01. Oh, shit. I dropped it. It didn't like that. It did not like that. Oh, God. Oh, no. I thought I killed it. For a second, I thought I killed it when I dropped it. So I've had one beer. Yeah, I don't think 0.01 is accurate. Probably like 0.03 would probably be more accurate. I know. Go home. It's like I didn't drop a glass. God, that's probably worse. That's the joke you do when someone drops a glass. Go home. I dropped a breathalyzer. Definitely. Oh God, Stricky saying you've got another breathalyzer. Oh, that ding is probably Mrs. Angry going to bed. I might go soon because I feel like I have to pee. We're almost there. And maybe that... why is it still beeping at me, for fuck's sake? Oh, you're doing new box. Well, I've probably got some in... Because you sent me some really interesting whiskies last time. I have some interesting whiskies to send you. Not so much cocktails and stuff this time, but some interesting whiskies. All right. Gonna eat Satan's balls. I love these sherries so much. All right. Let me go to bed. So that's slightly less than 2 hours. You'd rather cocktails? Okay. I'll make you something. Yeah. Fucking sure. All right. I'm going to go to bed now because I started thinking about it. I really have to pee. So I'm going to go pee. What's today? Sunday. I'll probably be back on Wednesday. We'll see. I'll see you another time. Bye for now.
You are totally